Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am so excited because I have Chelsey here today. Chelsey is one of our sponsors this month, and she is killing it over on the community pick. So make sure to
Yeah.
go check her out and learn all about her. Chelsey, take it away.
Hey, a first time on a podcast. Thanks for having me, Brittany. I am the owner and founder of Everwild Kids, and we are an outdoor nature play and learning space with a focus on homeschool collective and creating a community for all of our people, all of our like-minded individuals, we make the effort to get the kids back outside, move a little bit slower, kind of step back. And also as moms, especially some dads too come, but mostly moms, right? Moms come in and we get to find our people and have a conversation with other adults when sometimes we're stuck in the house all day with only our kids. So we kind of are building a really awesome space for us all to be there together. And yeah, now we're out there. We're doing our thing, quite literally both out there and outside out there with the kids, right? I go to work every day when I'm at Everwild and I get to do it with my kids, which is also kind of the point, the focus. I get to be home with them and also them and I being outside, growing together, experiencing something new, building resilience, building compassion, all the things that we want for ourselves and for our children, while we're out there healing our inner child and taking care of our own little babies.
I love that. Okay, so I need to know what sparked the idea of Everwild Kids?
Oh, my kids. So I only had childcare a couple of days a week, which is where I do my occupational therapy. And the other days I was home with my kids. So we would be packing a bag, making bins of stuff, and going out, going to parks, going to different places. And to be honest, a lot of those indoor play places are a little overstimulating for me. So yeah, we do go sometimes, but we tended to be outside for most of the time when I have them. And I kind of started to notice that all the kids that were around in the parks and the stuff were coming and playing with the things that we had and running around and engaging with the kids and kind of coming along the journey as I'm marching around like a little weirdo with hats on and doing my thing, right? And I said, I'm doing this, and I'm lugging everything everywhere and nobody knows where to find me or what we're doing. I don't know any of these people's names. It's just like, hi, friend, bye, friend. So I
Yeah.
said, we need a place. We need a space to settle down. Everybody can come there and kind of, like I said, build a community and know where we are and how we can do things together. So found a space and started there.
Amazing. Okay, so tell us, what is let's say it's a random Monday morning. I'm coming in with my kids. What are we doing, Everwild Kids?
We're playing. So when we have our open play sessions, we pride our space on the fact that we kind of say there's no rules. There's no rules except be kind of friends. So once they come in, especially if it's their first time, we kind of tell them that, we show them the space and let them loose, right? Kids very rarely have the physical space to straight up let loose, right? You want to paint on a tree, you want to move the digger from one area to another, you want to press the doorbell 1,000 times, you want to push the faucet in the mud kitchen until there's a big mud puddle on the floor. You can. Nobody's going to sit there and say to you, no, stop that, right? And
Mhm.
that's kind of the point for us. It's a play space where they can, so a child's occupation is to play. So it's their job to come there and just do their thing and just play. So they come in, especially during our unstructured time, and that's kind of where we're at. And when we do our homeschool collective, there's slightly more structure, and by slightly more structure, I mean at a certain point we gather in a circle, we say good morning, we say hello to each other, we attempt to gather for a snack and a story. It's all an invitation. So the option is there for the kids. The first few weeks they may be a little nervous, and then as we move forward, they kind of, all the kids come together for snack, no questions asked, and they know each other's name. And yesterday in class they didn't even care that we existed. They were running around and doing their own thing. They didn't look for us, not one adult for 1 minute the whole time they were playing. So, yeah, it's a space for them to really let loose and play.
I love that. It just brings it back to simple childhood, right? Like being able to just immerse yourself in mud and painting trees. And I mean, I've been there. I love there's the swing and the mud kitchen. And I'm gonna be honest, my kids have never seen a mud kitchen until we went there. Because
That's
honestly, I
awesome.
didn't even know that was like a thing until recently. So that is really, really cool. I love the fact that it's all outdoors too. Like I was definitely the type of mom that was like, and I saw your post. So for everybody listening, she had just posted a reshare of that even when it's really cold outside, kids can go outside. You just need to layer them properly. And that was amazing because in my mind, I was like, oh, it's too cold. And I literally saw your post and I took my kids out in the snow. And I was
Yep.
like, you know what? You guys are like losing it. Let's get outside. I know what to like dress like now. You're opening so much experience, especially to moms like myself who haven't really immersed myself in the outdoors. So it's really cool to learn all these things through you. So is Everwild Kids your first business?
Yeah. First ever. First ever thing on my own like that, right? I am an OT by trade. I work for a company. So, yeah, I do that on my own. I treat kids on my own, but it's not my business. Nobody reports to me. I report to someone else. I write my notes for other people. Yeah, this is my first business.
Very cool. So now remind everybody, when did you start?
We did a soft launch end of April, but May of 2025.
Okay, cool.
So
Now,
we're still new out there.
I love talking to the baby businesses because there's so much to learn in this moment, right? Like we always watch people in the end and they're the ones that are thriving and making it, but it's these moments that get them there. So, what has been the hardest lesson of starting a business for you?
Amount of things there is to learn is utterly overwhelming sometimes, right? Because it's not just the business end and how to track the numbers that are coming in and going out, or the marketing aspect of how to get people in your door in the first place, or the semi planning of lessons that I'm doing in the homeschool. There's so many moving parts, and keeping it authentic, to be honest with you. It's very easy to get caught up in other business, whether local or afar. What are they doing? Ooh, can I do that? How can I incorporate that? Oh, no, wait, is that actually what my mission is? Is that actually what I'm passionate about? Is that actually what I want to bring to the community? And kind of, again, what we preach at our space, right? Slowing down. It's the constant reminder to slow down because it's so new and it moves so fast.
It honestly does, and I love I literally have chills, I wish you could see it. I love the fact that you brought up that it's other businesses when you're, like, watching these other businesses. I make the joke that it's like shiny object syndrome, and I'm like, "Oh my
Yes,
gosh, like, but look what they're doing, that's, like, really cool too." But I love that, and it's so funny because I feel like I preach it on here all the time. It's being authentic to you and your business, right? Like, somebody could be thriving. Like, I know I'm shouting out Christy because her with that embroidery, I don't know if you know Timeless Threads.
I have
Her with
not met
that
her, but I've heard and seen her work.
yeah, okay. That embroidery machine is like I don't know how she does what she does. So one of my hustles years ago was doing embroidery, and literally every single time I tried to put the thread in the thing, it just went so it is not as easy as it looks, but it was a shiny object syndrome of that embroidery business is killing,
Yes.
not Christie is a different one. It was way back when. I wanna try to do that too. It's just finding your niche in all this. It's finding your passion. It's finding what works for you. Just because it's working for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And I love the way that you brought it back to slowing down childhood, slowing down moments, and just breathing and realizing that yes, that could be really cool for somebody else and they could be thriving and making it, but it doesn't mean that if you do it, you're going to thrive and make it. So that was really cool. Really cool. No, yeah. It's definitely a learning curve when we're doing all this. So when it comes to you said it, marketing. What has been something and things that are working for you to bring people into your space?
To be honest, word of mouth is our best bet because so many people, even that see videos or pictures of the space, say, oh, it's cool. It's a fun outdoor space. But until they come, they don't realize that it's truly a feeling to be there, right? To be accepted and to just have the space to breathe. So many people don't even realize that that's what they need. So word of mouth by far is our biggest, and that therefore then ends up being social media a lot of the time. Who's tagging, who's encouraging someone to come there, who's tagging because their friend went with them and all that stuff. So I would say that that's definitely up there.
Yeah, especially because you're a local business, right? So getting your name out there in the space of, okay, I need to meet new moms, do different things. And we talk a lot about here of the Facebook groups of like, the local Facebook groups also are a great spot to do it. But social media, there's nothing like, and you could speak to this. Getting tagged in your first time, that's somebody that you don't know that was in your space, and all of a sudden you're getting tagged and they're sharing it to their story. How did that feel?
Pretty amazing because that's today's word of mouth, right? In the beginning, even when I started this, I said, oh, I'm going to have to put business cards in delis and restaurants locally. And you think that that's word of mouth. And it's not just friends that talk to friends. Word of mouth is social media, it's people tagging. And it's super cool because it's not just your first tag that feels that great. It's the next tag or it's the reel that you post and somebody who is a friend of a friend that you met once that came to the space, or that's somebody that messaged me and was like, oh, we can't get to get in there. We can't wait to get in there. And then life happens and they haven't gotten in there yet. And they message you again and they say, that video was great. You know, we really can. I'm so mad I haven't gotten there. And then when they walk in that first time and they come down our little hill and they're like, we made it today. And they know that you know who they are. That's the part that feels really great because they're excited to come and they seek you out because their best friends and their cousins told them or brought them with them. And it's awesome.
It's like Cheers.
Yeah.
Everybody knows your name eventually. It's so fun because a lot of the things that you keep talking about is building a community. And one of the things I want to shout you out for is I've seen that you started pairing up with other moms in business. Like you have a music class now in Friday mornings, which I think is awesome for your especially for your homeschool kids. Do you plan on trying to find more women in business, moms in business with these little things that you could do at your homeschool collective?
Yes. And it's not just for our homeschool collective. So the space started out as strictly, I wanted to bring Forest School kind of to our area in New Jersey and get kids back outside and a very basic aspect of that sentence, right? Like just play outside because I knew all the science and the benefits behind it. And then as people started to come and I would talk to these moms, some moms came because they also knew the benefits and some moms came because they just didn't want the mess in their house and they had no idea and they didn't think about it like that. And as I got to talking to all these moms, so many of them have so many incredible gifts. And all I want to do, other than give kids the space to play, is give moms the space to offer that gift. Their kid
Wow.
comes with them to work. And I do air quotes, not because it's not real work, but because it's work in a whole different sense that people don't understand it. Like when I have meetings with people about collabs, yes, our meeting is at the space and your kid's going to come and they're going to play and that's that. And it's a private time. It's not during a session where other kids are there. You just come. That's the most important because the more we support each other, the more we all win. And that
Mhm.
really and truly is, I think now as a new business, one of the most important aspects of business that you don't even realize it's that important until you're in it. The people that I've met have opened so many doors for me and supported me in so many ways, even outside of business. I now work with Nesso Communications, for a lot of marketing, and I am very friendly with Sam from Hope and Harmony, the music therapist. We spent last Friday, three badass moms sitting at a table with six kids in total, a dog, hanging out, and the kids had the best time in the world. We got to sit at our computers and get work done and laugh. And that's the kind of community we want to build. People that can teach yoga for a class or offer a class to moms while I run a class for kids. Or, we've also worked with Lauren from the Speech Social. We've done a bunch already and we can't wait to do more. And every month we've been and we hope to again, probably after winter, any mom groups that are out there, come.
Yeah.
You can co-host a day where all of your people, all of your community gets to come, almost like a private class, right? You come, you engage, you kind of know some of them, and you know it's the kind of people that are your people. So we really like to bring all of that community to our space.
Love it. Money hungry mamas. I think we should have a play date there. I think this would be so fun. We're definitely gonna talk
Done.
about that after.
Yes.
I love that. I think it's really cool in a sense of what you're saying because it literally like what I love the most about this podcast is the women that it's bringing me to that have this same exact passion and mission that I do, that it's just like getting everybody to be able to do their strengths, getting eyes on these incredible businesses, you incredible people. Like it's crazy to me how I know we always talk about the scary things of social media, and I get that for sure. But there's also such a beauty in social media because I would not be talking with you right now if there wasn't a thing for social media. So
Correct.
I also see the beauty behind everything too. So you have this space, we have these different things that are popping up, and everybody listening, she always posts her events and everything right on Instagram. It's a great spot for you to check her out.
Yes, definitely Instagram.
Yeah, and I swear to goodness, it's like the millennial hub. You can
100%.
take me out of my Instagram millennial hub. Like that's where I'm gonna
Nope.
live.
I have a website. I have a couple other things. I'm learning about TikTok, but I do have a Facebook. But again, Instagram is definitely where I'm the most comfortable and I'm the most consistent. So definitely look there.
100%. 100%. I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was successful on TikTok, it was when I was posting multiple times a day. Who has that brain capacity? Like I give you guys so much credit if you could do it. I personally could not keep up. But, I go back and forth. As far as I would love to talk about this with you because I think it's such an important conversation. Burnout. You've been in business since May. Has there been a point in time where you've literally questioned, and I love to get raw and real in here, like, what am I doing? And just almost toss the towel?
Toss the towel, but definitely come home from doing all of the things and pick a day where I'm like, okay, done. I'm not going to
Yeah.
touch Instagram, not touching my email, I'm not answering anybody, even my kids sometimes. I'm like, okay, just make it work without me. Let me just sit here for a minute. And I feel like it's more of a physical burnout for me in that sense versus like oh, I want to throw in the towel. I think I'm still so new in business that I'm in a very excited phase. Even the hard stuff kind of still lights the fire under my ass and says, no, do this, try this, like keep
Yeah.
going. We're still in that hub of that for me. So I haven't gotten to a place of true, like, I can't do it anymore, but definitely where I'm beat. I'm done.
Wow.
Take a step back and take a minute physically and then recharge and go at it again. And I really love what I'm doing. So so far, there's moments of difficulty, but it's so much fun and it's so much learning and I get to do it with my kids. I'm obsessed with my kids.
I love
So the fact that I get to be with them while I'm doing that's it. That's the point.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think for everybody that's listening to this podcast, besides your incredible friends and family, moms who literally had a kid and was like, this is it. There has to be another way out of working this 9 to 5 where I can enjoy every single second with them. So feeling that is so true in a sense of that's what we do it for. That's why we're up late at night. That's why we're up early in the morning. That's why we're schlepping them everywhere with us. It's because we want to enjoy those moments and not miss the soccer games and all those moments. I totally understand that. And I love the sense of for you when you're physically exhausted, it's just like a shutdown. Like, and I get the same exact way. When I get overtired, I question every single life choice I ever had. And I don't know if anybody else feels that way. It's like when I get overtired, I feel it. And it's like I start like all these negative self talk. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to sleep. I just need to go to bed this second and be done with today. And I just think, sometimes for everybody listening, it's okay because you're not alone.
Well, to be honest, I was going to say this before also. One of the best things for me about the social media and the Instagram community aspect of it is we often associate that misery loves company, right? So whether it's motherhood or business, if somebody posts, hey, I'm having a crappy day or this is really hard, you see that and you know that you're not alone. And that feels really good to know that you're not alone. But to be honest, I'm also finding it in the opposite sense, right? When I see all these women on fire, and they're like, yes, it's hard. And I can do hard things. Like, I want this so bad and it feels so good because it's exactly what I'm meant to do. Of course, I can do it. It's not always a push past and ignore it. It's a fire in your gut of living your dream for yourself and for your kids. And I also kind of think that that solidarity is even more awesome. And for me, prevents that burnout of I don't know if I can do this anymore because I know I can. When I go and the other moms that also were in business are bringing their kids to play at our space or messaging me online or collaborating or whatever our deal is, we're all being together in it is definitely more uplifting than it is exhausting. So I feel like for me, that's one of the things that helps prevent major burnout. Again, at least right now, I know I'm not naive. I know I'm still in the early stages, but I don't know. I really and truly, I'm thrilled.
It is the grit and heart. And we talk about that all the time. Like nobody can teach grit and heart. And everything you just said is the definition of it. It's a beautiful definition of what grit and heart is. And I just think it's so true. Like watching these other women post and share their stories about, yeah, I am so tired, but damn, I love what I do. And it's like, oh, I get it. I get it. Like that makes sense to me. I mean, yeah. No, love that answer. So, what has been the most meaningful moment that you've experienced since opening?
Is a tough question. The most meaningful moment.
Done.
You did stump me because honestly, it's hard to pick one. I feel like I get kind of repetitive when I say stuff about community, but in particular, one of the moments was I met at the mom right after I opened, I had gone to an event with a Mom Walk Co group.
Okay.
I met Alessia, who is with Nesso Communications, and we walked and we met, and she brought her son to the space, and she was like, "Yeah, if you ever need any help, just let me know." I was like, "Okay." You kind of don't take anybody up on that. You don't know what that means. You just meet somebody.
Yeah.
And then she came to the space again. And then she came to the space again. And every conversation we had, right, just made me realize, oh, people are so real if you let them be. They show up for you even when they don't even know you, because I created a space where she felt comfortable enough and she really loved it there and wanted her kid to come there. And we were like minded people and got to talking. So the truth and the reality of how good and generous and kind people truly can be when they are in a space of calm, they can access their compassion, they can access their community, they can access their ability to actually think clearly and offer their gifts wholeheartedly, and I feel like that's probably it. When I realized truly and completely how awesome other moms in the shit really can be when they have the space to do it.
Wow. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing because it's so true. Just like I really do. This community just gives my like heart such warmth because it's so true. Like I've watched so many connections after hearing somebody's story on here and all of a sudden like they're jumping to help each other and it's just like when you're in a space where it's so like-minded that you just truly want to have everybody succeed, beautiful things can happen.
Like, beyond the beyond. Even Tiffany from Ocean Wave Mama, she's another one. We chatted through DM before we ever met. She got to the space and she walked in and she just gave me a hug. And she was like, "I don't know if you're comfortable with hugs, but I had to give you a hug because I feel like just the way we speak and how welcoming and warm you are towards me just made me want to be here even more. And I just think we're going to be a great team." And I'm like, "Me too." And since then, we have been. So I feel like,
Wow.
again, for me, we created the space of Everwild, but really it's the space for moms and their kids. And again, we have the space. Motherhood doesn't always give you that. You don't have a second to breathe. So now your kid's happy. You can be happy. You can take a breath and truly give of yourself, which I think so many of us want to do and almost
Mhm.
get frustrated and disappointed when we can't because of
I
our
agree.
motherhood overwhelm. So yeah, the space and the ability for people to truly come from where they are with their whole heart and soul.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can we talk for a second about how real that is? So like there has been times and I don't know about you where it's like okay, and now we're in the thick I'm in the thick. I have an 8-year-old. I'm in the thick of sports, right? So it's like pick up from school, go to practice, who's doing dinner? I have two other kids and there are moments where I'm so overwhelmed, and I think about those moments later because somebody would try to talk to me, and I'm not in the capacity to be giving and give my all to the conversation. I'm more of like, "Where'd he go? What is happening? Who's running where? What is my kid doing?" So I think that that is not a thought I ever thought of, but the moments of being overwhelmed and trying to have a conversation will live with me forever in a regret. So I think that that is such a great realization that being in a sense of calm and not stressed first in the thick of motherhood, I'm 2 different people. That's
Totally
exactly
different
what it
people.
is.
Totally different people. And to be honest, it's not just when you come to Everwild, right? It's the thinking behind just get outside, right? So, yes, you met me through this, and hopefully now you have in your tool belt a little quicker to access. Oh, yeah, that reminder of it's not so hard to take my kids out for 10 minutes. Let's just walk around the block. So, even if you're not specifically trying to work or have a conversation with somebody about something important, you can walk around the block with your kids in silence. They can ride their bikes or run or chase each other, and you can take a deep breath. Get outside, take a breath for yourself, and so much becomes clear, even in a matter of 10 minutes. Cold, hot, it doesn't matter. You take a deep breath and you can say, okay, let's start over. Let's get access to whatever I need to get access to make it through the night, you know?
No, it's so true because when we usually do like a family walk after dinner all spring, all summer,
Brilliant.
the fall. But then when winter comes, all of a sudden, like we're like it's too cold, we can't go outside, and now we're miserable. It's called like we do it like seasonal depression. My husband calls it like we just get sad and whatever. And I think learning all these tools of it's okay to. I was always taught it's too cold outside, they're gonna get sick. Like they can't go out in the cold. They're gonna get
Yes.
sick.
Most
So like
people are
it's
taught that.
yeah, so it's instilled in me like, okay, that's the same thing as the snow. Yes, of course, I let my kids go play in the snow, but it was pretty dang chilly yesterday, and I was like, I'm not. But then you posted that, and your kids were in the snow, and I was like, all right, my kids are schlepping out in the snow. We were out there
We
for
spent
2 whole hours.
Yeah, we spent 4 hours outside yesterday. So yes, it's
It was
cold and not
crazy.
everybody has to go out for 4 hours, but the resilience for the kids and for us comes from the practice. I keep saying the word space and maybe not always clearly, in this kind of conversation, but it's also giving ourselves this space,
Yeah,
physical and emotional. So getting outside for 10 minutes gets that extra breath of oxygen into our lungs for
for
our
sure.
head to think more clearly, for our brain to kind of reset and say, oh, what's going 2 hours, 4 hours, 1 minute, 10 minutes, it all counts because we need that. Life in general moves really fast when you work a 9 to 5, when you do anything, and then add kids on top of that. Forget it. You're like high speed. And now add starting a business of your own. What is even real life? What
No,
is
it's so
even real
true.
life? But you take 10 minutes to take a deep breath, everything changes. Everything changes. And I feel like we forget or we're not taught the statement of we can do hard things. You don't just wake up and do hard things. It
For
takes
sure.
practice, right? The same way like building a business takes practice.
For
Go
sure.
outside for 10 minutes.
For
10
sure.
minutes. Yes, it'll take you just as long to put all the stuff on, but you only have to do it for 10 minutes and then you go home. And if you do that routine all of the time, it becomes easier and easier and easier with your kids. I could not do this business if my kids did not learn through the practice of doing. The first few times, I had to teach them we're staying till the end of the time and they weren't thrilled. But if I stayed patient and calm and practiced with them, now they don't even ask. They come, we play. I'm like, okay, it's time to go. We'll run up the hill with our friends. It's a practice. It didn't happen the first time, the first
Mhm.
10 times. We get there.
It's so true. It's so true. And I just like, as you're talking, like, I just think about how I was in the morning yesterday. I was like anxiety ridden. I had so much work to do. The kids were home. It was, Martin Luther King Day. Everybody was home and my whole routine was thrown. But then when we went outside, I was smiling. I was laughing. It was like, I came back in just like, okay, I'm ready to like finish today. Like, it's a good day. We're going to go to gymnastics. We're going to go to whatever ninja and it's going to be fine. So I think it's like so true. And especially and I want everybody to hear this, like, clearly, I have not been a going outside person besides, like, my walk at night. Like, outside was never in my thing. I was absolutely taught, your kids are gonna get sick if you're in the cold, things that you know what I mean? And I'm learning through this space of knowing Chelsey that things are okay. Like, if I didn't see her post that post yesterday, I hope you really truly know that because it's absolutely true. I said I was not going out in the cold. If I didn't see her post, I wouldn't have even went out. And it ended up, like, saving our whole entire day. We were outside for 2 whole hours, people that never go outside in the cold. And I was like, "Yeah, it's really cool." So thank you for what you're doing because you're even just changing this money hungry mama's life.
I love it.
What is a belief that you had to unlearn about money or business or success as a mom?
Had to unlearn.
And just like I had to unlearn that kids could get sick in the cold. What
Yeah.
is something you had to unlearn?
Was something that I had to unlearn about money and business, that it all comes from a paycheck.
Okay, explain.
Because, I mean, everything that I was interested in growing up, whether it's an ophthalmologist when I'm really little or a veterinarian, right? You go to work, you do a specific job, and you get every 2 weeks, you get a paycheck sent to you, right? Whether it's a 9 to 5 or not, you're still going to work. You're doing this specific thing and getting paid for your efforts. That's something that I'm still in the process of unlearning because that's not how it works when you own a business of your own, first of all. And second of all, it's more than that, right? Like money does not buy happiness, but we all know that money does buy happiness, right? It's a combination of the two. So kind of finding that happy medium of even just the ability to stay home with my children, right? that alone is something that I had to unlearn. I was somebody who was like, I'm going to have kids and I'm definitely sending them to school, not necessarily daycare, but they're going somewhere because I need to work. So somebody's going to watch them, whether it's family or a daycare or a place. It
100%.
definitely was one of those. I love working. I love what I do, and I've done a million jobs over the years, and I've always enjoyed them all. I
Mhm.
like being a busy, working, doing woman.
Mhm.
And I kept saying motherhood is not going to change that about me, right? And now I have a business and I'm like, oh, I want to work and I want to do things because I want to use my brain and I want to meet great people and I want an awesome life.
Mhm.
But I want to be with my babies and, no specific paycheck is worth that.
I love it.
And yeah, that's definitely something that I had to unlearn because I come from a line of hard ass working women and mothers in my family. My own mom, my sister, my aunts, everybody's always been a hard working woman, kids, no kids throughout their lifespan. So kind of turning into a hardworking woman in a totally different aspect and a totally different definition of what that looks like is something I had to learn. The value of that money and the value of what it brings to me, definitely something I'm still in the process of unlearning.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, it's so funny the things that we say before we have kids. It's like it cracks me up. I'm like, I never ever want to think that way ever again because it's like, you say the most ridiculous things, then you see this little human and you're like, "Wow, I did not realize what love was until I was looking at this like tiny human little thing." And it's just
And
oh,
none of
100%.
my thinking is the same in any way, in
It's so true.
any way.
It's so true. I always say, like, if you knew me before kids, but we have not spoken since, you have no idea who I am because I had no idea who I was until they showed up. And then it was like, okay, I know who I want to be because you're here. It's just
So,
like,
but I also think at your heart of hearts, that's still the same, and I think people would recognize that through
yes.
and through, and then they'd just be like, "Interesting."
Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, so for a mom that's listening that wants to build one of these in her community, what is a step that she could take this week to get that process going?
There's a step that start. Quite literally, if you're thinking about doing it, make the Instagram and reach out to your community because even before you have a physical space to do that, because those could come in any form. You can rent a space, it can be your own property, you can do it at a local park. There's so many different avenues you can do, but reach out to your community through I say Instagram, but however you reach out to your community, the mom groups, get moms together to go for a walk in an outside space and then let it grow from there. Because even for me, as I move through this process, I just got certified as an official forest school guide, right? It's just an extra gift I have to bring to the table. Mind blown through the whole experience. You just bring it to the table every time, right? Something that you learned, throw it into the discussion, see how it lands with people, see how the kids do with it, but do it outside so that your body gets used to doing it. You get used to hearing your voice outside while you're doing it. You can feel it in your bones, and everything looks different when you live it both through social media and the physicality of being outdoors, it comes to life that way. And then you kind of decide what do you want your own physical space? Do you want, like I said, do you want to rent? How do you
Yeah.
want to like physically land as a space, but just be the space for people first and foremost. Put the information out there, the content out there, the imagery out there, remind people to just go outside. And then if you live it yourself, like you said, the trend for 2026 is your true authenticity. Put your face out there and do the work. And when you live it, it comes to life.
Mhm. It's so true. It's so, so true. So, Chelsea, my favorite question. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
Oh my gosh, opportunity. Opportunity. You're setting the groundwork for yourself, right? The money hungry isn't about the dollar signs, it's about the life-changing experiences. Yes, some of that comes from making the money, but it comes from the interaction. It comes from so many other things. You're setting the groundwork for an incredible future. And for me, the mama portion always jumps out, right? Like money hungry is great and we all want that piece of it, but mama, right? The fire in our belly, that tiger of a mama who, wants to protect their young and do all their things. That
100%. It's so true. It's so true. It's like I felt like when I was younger too, I was just kind of meek and like a pushover and you could do anything and I would just get over it. But like now that I have kids, it's a fire. It's
Yeah.
different. Like there's nothing that's gonna happen to them. You know what I mean? It's just such a good way of describing mama is the fire that comes out of nowhere.
And hungry is the perfect way to describe it too, right? The hunger for all of the things. Yes, the money, but it's not, I feel for me, when I hear money hungry mama, it genuinely doesn't land as just like somebody who's out there to make a lot of money. It's a great way to just describe tangibly to somebody what that drive of motherhood feels like. Yeah.
My gosh, thank you for saying that. And that, like, it's so funny because that's how I put it. And then it's like, okay, like, does this land for everybody? I'm not sure. But for me, it's exactly how you took it, which it makes me like so excited because I'm like, okay, we get it. This is good community gets it.
We do. Though that's why we're your community. That's why we all come together like this because you feel it in your bones. You're hungry for it. Whatever the it is for you, you're hungry for it. And being a mama just makes it all the more exciting and all the more amazing because you know that it's for you and for your own inner child. So you're mothering your own inner child on this journey of work, entrepreneurship, and on the journey of raising our babies and how different that looks and feels than what we grew up as, for better or worse. But from what that looks like from what we grew up as, it's an awesome feeling to be a money hungry mama.
That just made my heart so happy. Oh my gosh. It's so true. Chelsea, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, it's
Where can
awesome.
everybody support you?
At Everwild Kids. So it's at Everwild_kids on Instagram. We're at Everwild Kids on Facebook. Our website is www.everwildkids.com. Learn the name and put it in the search bar and you'll find us. That's the goal, to keep us out there for everybody to find. And we'd
For
love
sure.
for you guys to come, hang, be part of our space. It's not just bring your kids, moms, join us, share your gifts with our community. We want you. You are so welcome here and we can't wait to do this together.
Yes. And keep an eye out because I meant what I said. We're going to do a Money Hungry Mama session at Everwild Kids, and I will make sure that I have everything set in stone that we could start talking about it. But
Oh, I'm so excited. I love these conversations.
me too. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was incredible.